Now this meme is low-key kind of true. Now obviously we as human beings do need a lot more to thrive than just water and sunlight, but sunlight does play a crucial and critical role in helping us feel our absolute best for many different reasons. It goes beyond just vitamin D production. One of the many and most beneficial wavelengths of light is red light, which you can find naturally in the sun. Many of you have probably heard of this by now. It goes by a few different names: photobiomodulation, red light therapy, low-level laser therapy, I believe is another one. But red light can actually be found naturally in the sun. Specifically during sunrise and sunset is when it is most concentrated. That's because these warmer colors of light, the oranges, the yellows, and the reds, are longer wavelengths of light compared to the opposite cooler colors. For example, greens, violets, and blues are very short wavelengths of light. So when the sun is rising or setting, those short wavelengths of light can't make it past Earth's atmosphere, so they don't reach our eyes. Only the warmer colors do. That's why we get that beautiful golden hour look where the sky fills with beautiful, majestic oranges and reds and yellows. Now that's one reason why I'm a fan of getting full spectrum sunlight in the morning during sunrise. Doing it at sunset is beneficial as well, but I prefer to do it in the morning. And if you follow my channel, you know how critical this is in my routine for helping me feel my absolute best. Now, for example, this morning I wasn't able to go out and get my morning sunlight because it's overcast today in LA. So what is a great way to get a concentrated, targeted, proper dosage of red light therapy without having to rely on the sun every single morning? You can use red light therapy devices. Now, even using red light therapy devices on top of getting your morning sunlight exposure or your daily sun exposure can still bring some awesome benefits. These red, longer wavelengths of light have been studied extensively. And when I say studied extensively, I'm talking there are thousands and thousands and thousands of studies done on red light therapy and photobiomodulation. Now, one of the devices that I've been using for the past few months is the Joovv Go. You might have seen me review it on my channel back in March of this year, 2019, but as of recently,
there's a new cowboy in town. And let me tell you, this town ain't big enough for the two of them.
Howdy, partner.
I didn't realize how stupid that was until after I edited it. Now, that new device that's recently hit the market and that I've been trying out for the last few weeks is called the GembaRed Beam. GembaRed is another red light device company similar to Joovv. Now, these two devices are targeting the same market: the portable, smaller, lightweight, more affordable red light therapy devices for the average person. They do each have their pros and cons, their gives and takes, but even with that, in my opinion, there is still a clear winner between the two that reigns king as the wild red light therapy west. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and compare the two objectively as well as subjectively so that you can make a proper buying decision. Let's get right into the video. Roll the intro. Sir, yes, sir. So here we have the Joovv Go. This is Joovv's small, portable, lightweight red light therapy device. And on this side, we have the GembaRed Wave. Now, as you can see, there are some clear differences, some obvious ones kind of right out the gate, right? One has wire, one doesn't, but I'm gonna go ahead and run through the specs starting at the top of my list here. I will leave this available for download in the description for free as a PDF. It's nothing crazy, but it's just my reading notes. So number one, let's start with price point, because that's what most people are, really taking into consideration when buying a red light therapy device. Now, Joovv is known for making good quality red light therapy devices, but they're also known for being incredibly expensive. So the Joovv Go comes in at a whopping $295 retail price. That's not including taxes or shipping, if any. You can probably find a discount code. I don't have one for them, but you can probably find one online. So there's that. And hold on, my daughter is FaceTiming me. Okay, so where was I? I think I was talking about price. $295, let's call it $300. $159, let's call it $160. Now, I don't have a discount code with Joovv, but I will have one at the time of this posting with GembaRed, because honestly, I think they're products are at a more affordable price and better. I do think this is the superior choice if you're not going to watch the whole review. But think about this, with my discount code coming in at $160 retail, you can basically get 2 of these for the price of 1 of these. I mean, they are extremely affordable, and they're not, marking up their prices. They're not doing nothing crazy. They just make damn good red light therapy devices with really honest prices. That allows more people to get their hands on this technology, on these healing properties, which I'm a big fan of. Think about this even. GembaRed has full body panels, like big ones, that you can hang on your wall for around $300. You can get one of those instead of a Joovv Go. Now, they do continue to have their own pros and cons, so let's move down the list. They both come with a 1-year warranty, which is important because I've had the Joovv Go for probably 5 to 6 months now, and it's already broken on me. If I hold the button down, it turns on. If I let go, it turns off. It doesn't stay on. Now, I'm sure that's not a problem with the LEDs itself or anything like that. I'm sure it's just a little, manufacturer problem with the power button probably. So the fact that they both come with a 1-year warranty is a good thing, but the fact that I have to use the 1-year warranty just after a few short months, that's really not that cool. Then I have to deal with it. I have to send it in. I have to wait for another one. Who knows what's going to happen? I will contact them about that though. So that's something I want to note. After a few months, this thing has already given me an issue there with the power button. I basically can't use it unless I hold the button down the entire time. Now, in terms of what color they both output the 660 nanometer range of light. That is a deep red. That is more for surface level healing, scars, acne, collagen formation, ATP production. You get some of that. When you get into the near infrared and the invisible spectrums of red light, that's when you get the real deep tissue bone healing. You do get some of that with this, but just know that the 660 nanometer range is more surface level, kind of healing properties and benefits. I do use this on my face. I get compliments on my skin all the time, and I do find it to be a really nice boost in the morning. Now, the 660 nanometer range, just that range alone, within the thousands of studies of red light therapy, has hundreds and hundreds of studies just on this one wavelength alone, which is powerful. It's a great wavelength. So they both output the same color, but at different intensities. So one of the main selling points with the GembaRed beam is how far you can use it away from you and still get an effective dose. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute, so stick around. I wanna stay in order here. Now, in terms of wattage, the actual wattage of the Joovv Go is 12 watts. The actual wattage of the GembaRed beam is 13 watts. Let's cover an obvious, pro and con here is that the Joovv Go obviously is completely wireless. It runs off a battery. You charge it via USB-C. Now, I have noticed that after a few months of use, the battery life has diminished some. I probably get 2 to 3 uses out of it when it was working on a single charge until I have to recharge it again. I use it daily. I've never dropped it or anything. So 2 to 3 uses. I don't know, I would expect more like 5 or 6 like I was getting in the beginning. And it just kind of went down pretty quickly. Now with the GembaRed beam, you have the drawback of it being wired. Okay, so it has to be plugged in. Now, one of the good things about this is that it is a 3-meter long cord. It's just under 10 feet. So you can plug it in on one spot, move it around your desk as you change positions. That I like. It's long. You don't have to worry about it tugging on anything or anything like that. So it is wired. That can be a drawback depending on you in your life. Do you travel a lot? Like a lot, then you might want to go with something more battery powered. Also, something to note is that the end of the cord at the moment, they only sell them in the US outlet style. So if you're traveling or live in another country, you will need the adapter for that. Okay, so they only sell them in the US outlets at the moment. Now, with the Joovv Go, once it's turned on, it will automatically shut off after 10 minutes. That's what they consider a dose with the Joovv Go. After 10 minutes, it'll automatically shut off. Now, if you want to do a 20-minute session, you can just easily turn it right back on again, no problem, but it will turn off after 10 minutes. Now, with the GembaRed beam, on the other hand, as long as it's plugged in, it will be on. It won't automatically shut off. There's no power button or anything, so when you plug it in, it turns on. When you unplug it, it turns off, which honestly, I like that because I don't have to worry about, it turning off after 10 minutes. I can leave it on and get a good 20-minute session in. Now, since we're on the topic of the battery life and usage and things like that, let's get into some details there. The Joovv Go does get loud. It does have fans on the inside, and as you can see, it has vents on every single side, and it does get loud, and it does output some heat from these vents. And as you continue to have it on, it will progressively get a little bit louder. Now with the GembaRed Beam, on the other hand, what's really cool about this is that there's no fans. It's completely silent and does not give off any heat. It might get just a little warm, but I'm gonna hold it up to the microphone so you can listen. There is no sound. Like, this thing is completely silent. Even after 20 minutes, it won't make a peep at all, which is nice. That, has a give and take, because honestly, I'm the kind of person who sleeps with white noise in the background. I like that comforting, just kind of white noise. It helps me kind of relax. So when I'm using this in the morning, I kind of enjoyed the loud fan, but I can enjoy complete silence as well. So that depends on what you like, but it's really crazy how this thing has more LEDs than the Joovv and is just completely silent. I'm sure that has something to do with battery versus cord and the way it's built, but I just definitely want to note that. Now, the recommended dose, the recommended usage from Joovv on the Joovv Go is 10 minutes, 2 to 6 inches away from the targeted area. So what that means is that if you want to target the face, like I usually do with these devices, I have to hold it extremely close to my face, 2 to 6 inches away. The closer, the better. Now with the GembaRed Beam, on the other hand, they give you 2 recommended dosages or usages. First one is 6 to 8 inches away from the targeted area for 10 minutes, or 12 to 18 inches away for 15 minutes. That is really cool. You don't have to have this thing all up in your business, scrunched up against your face for 10 whole minutes. It can be at a comfortable distance, and that is a huge advantage and selling point for the GembaRed Beam over the Joovv Go. Is that this you have to have very close, this you can have at a nice comfortable distance. Something else to note is that the GembaRed Beam has a built-in stand, and this thing is really nice. You literally just set it up on your desk or wherever you are, and it's really easy to kind of angle depending on your seating position. The Joovv Go, one of the biggest downsides with this is that there's no stand. It doesn't come with one, and they don't sell one. They don't make one for it. So if I want to hold this, when I was using this on a daily basis, I had to turn it on and hold it with one hand up against my face. And I like to journal, eat breakfast, do some reading while I do my red light therapy in the morning. I like to knock out all those birds with one stone. That eliminates the use of one of my hands. Now I only have one hand to work, to hold the paper and write. It got a little annoying sometimes. With the GembaRed, it frees up both of your hands. You don't have to worry about holding it. It will literally just stay wherever you set it, and that is really nice. Now, the reason you can use the GembaRed Beam from a farther distance and still get an effective dose is because of the lenses that GembaRed has installed over each of the LEDs. So if you're not aware, LEDs typically have a really wide beam angle. So imagine the LED bulb is right here. The light floods pretty widely. It has a big spread. Whereas, a laser is very direct. That's why it's called a laser, because it has a very narrow beam angle. So the wider the beam angle, the more the intensity of the light dissipates. It fades away. That's why you have to be really close to these devices when you're using them, because of the wide beam angle. Now, there are prismatic lenses over each of the LEDs on the GembaRed Beam that take that beam angle and narrow it down, and they have information of this on their website, which is one of the things I love about this. It takes the wide beam angle, narrows it, so you can still get an effective intensity, an effective dose from a farther distance, because they narrowed that beam angle. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I can have this thing close to 3 feet away from me on my desk, knowing that I'm getting a really good dose for 15 to 20 minutes. That right there is a great selling point for the GembaRed Beam. That's why I prefer it. Now, something I should have covered first, obviously, is the size. The GembaRed Beam comes in at 7 inches by about 5.5 inches, or 5 1/4 to be more specific. The Joovv Go comes in at 3.75 inches by 5.75 inches. Now, the GembaRed Beam comes in at 3 pounds. The Joovv Go comes in at 1 pound. So it is a little bit lighter. So if you are, checking bags a lot, that's something to pay attention to. But the reason is justified for the GembaRed beam's bigger size because you get more LEDs. The Joovv Go only has 12 LEDs, while the GembaRed beam has 20, all with the prismatic lens on there, so you get an effective dose from far away and you get more light. Now, lastly, I want to talk about something that is not talked about in the red light device community that I see too often is the flicker rate of the LEDs and the non-native electromagnetic radiation, the EMFs that the devices give out. Because remember, we're holding these things really close to our body, up against our heads, around our chest. Some people do red light therapy on their genitalia, which is actually pretty effective, honestly, especially for men to boost testosterone. But if this thing is giving off really high EMFs, just like a cell phone, then that kind of is pretty fucking lame. So what's interesting is that on the GembaRed website, they have it tested for its electromagnetic radiation. From the effective distance, 6 to 18 inches away, you are getting very low, almost no EMF readings from the GembaRed beam, which makes it entirely safe, as well as the flicker rate of the LEDs is very low, and they have that verified on their website. If you're unaware, not just the color temperature of the LEDs can affect us, but the flicker rate as well. If you have a really high flicker light bulb or LED, that can sap some of our energy. And I have a detailed video on this on my channel. I'll put a card right here in the corner. So low EMF, low flicker rate. The Joovv Go, on the other hand, doesn't give that info anywhere on their site about the Joovv Go. I'm sure you'd have to call them and ask them, but that is just something up front that I noticed. GembaRed is aware of these issues with devices like this, and they addressed it openly, verified on their website. Low flicker, low EMF. Joovv Go, on the other hand, doesn't mention it anywhere on their website. So that is pretty important in my opinion. So to sum it all up, the Joovv Go, $300, the GembaRed beam, $160. You can basically get two for the price of one. This one is more portable because it's wireless and there's a battery. This one, you do have to have it plugged in on a US outlet, so that's a drawback there. But you get more LEDs, you get a better intensity at a farther distance, you get a stand, which is nice. The Joovv Go will shut off automatically after 10 minutes, the GembaRed won't. I mean, in my opinion, based off my life in the context of me and how I use these things, the GembaRed beam is the superior choice. So I will leave links to both of these in the description down below. They are affiliate links, but I was paid by none of these companies, to be completely honest with you. As always, 5-6 months ago, Joovv Go released this, and they sent me this unit for free to review on my channel. They did not pay me. They did not tell me, hey, make it a good review. They just sent it to me so I can make a video. That is the same case with GembaRed. The dude sent it to me. He said, hey man, we just launched this. We would love for someone to do a comparison between this and the Joovv. Could you do that for us? We'll send you a free unit. You don't have to, favor our product over theirs or anything. Just make it an honest video. And I said, yeah, sure. So I got them both for free. But if I was gonna spend my hard-earned cash on a device, portable, small red light therapy device, I'd go with the GembaRed personally. So I'll leave links to both of these down below. I'll have a discount code attached for the GembaRed beam. If you found any value in this video whatsoever, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post a new video out weekly. I work hard on them, so I'd appreciate any support. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, but let me know why in the comments. That way I can, continue to improve and make better content for you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in next week's video.